Hi, thank you for joining me. This is my first time doing a live video. It's also my first time using one of these microphones that's attached to me, so I appreciate your patience as you come along with me on this journey of learning what I'm doing. So today we will have chair yoga practice. It will be an all-seated practice. Sometimes in chair yoga classes we have standing postures using the chair for support, and today this practice will be all seated. All right, so we will go ahead and talk about a few things before we get started. The first thing is you will need to have a chair. And so you can use a folding chair if you have one. A chair from your kitchen table would work. If you are in a chair with wheels, you may want to lock the wheels on the chair. And if you're sitting on a desk chair that has wheels, you may want to either find another chair or find some way to stabilize the wheels on the chair so that you are in a stable seat. So we'll talk a little bit about how we sit in a chair yoga class. We want our thigh bones to come directly out of our hip joints. And then we want our shin bones to come down at about a 90-degree angle from there. So if you're sitting in a chair that is somewhat low and you find that your knees are kind of hunched up, you may want to get either a blanket to put on the chair to sit on or a cushion, something that will give you some lift so that you can have a better angle. The other side of that is if you are sitting in such a way that your feet don't fully touch the floor, maybe just your toes are on the floor, maybe your feet are dangling, you may want to place something under your feet. So again, you could use a blanket or a cushion. If you have yoga blocks, you could put a yoga block under each foot. That way you can really feel the soles of your feet on something and have some stability there. One other thing before we begin, we'll be using a strap today. So if you don't have a yoga strap like this is just sort of a woven cotton yoga strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap, you could use a long belt, a necktie, a jump rope, any of those would work. And if you don't have anything to use that would work for you, then I'll give some options for that as well. So I'll give you a moment to get all of your things together. I am filming this in my living room, so you may have seen the cat walk by. You might see the cat, you might see a little dog or two. So the lighting is not perfectly ideal in here, but hopefully it will be enough that you can see what I'm doing and we'll make it work today. So again, thank you for joining me today on this Wednesday, International Women's Day, and middle of the week. I appreciate you being here. One word before we get started: if a healthcare provider or physical therapist has advised you against a certain type of movement, and I instruct you to move in a way that goes against that advice, then please honor what your healthcare provider has told you. There are certain poses like forward folds and other poses where having the head lower than the heart is maybe not a good idea for some people. So in those poses, just don't fold as far forward. Whatever you need to do to modify the pose to make it safe for you, feel free to do that. So we will begin by getting comfortable in our seats. And so you might want to slide back in your chair a little bit to allow for your back to rest on the back while still being able to somewhat sit up. And then if you're in a place where you feel comfortable doing so, you can close your eyes, or you may just want to lower your gaze. And if you keep your eyes open and gaze lower. Just look down towards the floor and soften your gaze. And then from here, just begin to observe your breath. So you might find where you notice your breath the most as it enters and leaves your body. Maybe it's at the nose, maybe the back of the throat, maybe in the rising and falling of your chest or the expansion and contraction of your belly. So wherever you notice your breath the most, just focus your attention there. And if your thoughts start to wander, if your mind starts to take you on a journey to the past, or if ideas and plans about the future start to pop into your mind, just acknowledge those thoughts and then return your attention back to your breath. By focusing on our breath, it brings us into this moment. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax the muscles around your stomach. And then take a couple deep breaths, breathing in really deeply, and then or sigh out your exhale. Make an audible sound on that breath out. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in deeply, and then audible sound on the exhale. And that audible sound as we exhale can help us to relieve tension, relieve stress. And then we'll begin with some movement. So you may want to slide a little bit forward in your seat if you had slid back there at the beginning. Checking in with your alignment, we are going to be in a position called seated mountain. So it's similar to a standing mountain pose in that we really have a sense of our feet grounded into the floor, into whatever our feet are placed on. We lengthen through the spine. We relax the shoulders. The crown of the head lifts. And we want to be sitting on our sit bones. So sometimes we have a tendency to sort of sit back, rounded back, sitting back on our tailbone. So we want to sit up nice and tall, and we want to be sitting on our sit bones here. And this is our seated mountain pose, and we'll return to this frequently throughout the practice. Then we'll begin with just a little bit of movement for the neck. So as you breathe out, you can bring your neck, your chin down towards your chest. And as you breathe in, you can lift your gaze, lift your chin, look up towards the ceiling. So we'll do that a couple more times. Breathing out, chin towards chest. Breathing in, gaze up. One more time. And back to center. And then from here, we'll bring the chin back towards the chest, and we're just going to make a sort of a sweeping motion. So sweep the chin over to the right shoulder, back to center, over to the left shoulder, back to center. So you can continue with that movement. This helps to open up the muscles through the neck. Nice and gentle movement here. And then the next time that you've come back from the left side, we'll pause and then bring the head back upright. From here, we'll roll our shoulders. So we're going to make big, slow, gentle circles with the shoulders. And then other direction. And then just relax the shoulders down. Next, we'll do some cat and cow movements. So this is a nice movement for the spine and the muscles in the back. So as we breathe out, we're going to let the back round. Shoulders come together in the front, head lowers. And then as we inhale, the back arches, we open up wide across the chest, and we lift the head. So breathing out, we're rounding wide across the back. Breathing in, opening wide across the chest. So you can do that a few more times. Move at the pace of your breath here. And if ever I'm cueing the breath in a way that doesn't work for your body, then just breathe in the way that works best for you. One of the things that makes yoga different from other movement practices is that we endeavor to match breath to movement. So if the way that I cue that doesn't work for you, then just do that in a way that does work for you. And then we'll come back upright. Nice tall spine. From here, as we exhale, we're going to slowly bring ourselves forward. So you might like to walk your fingertips down towards your ankles. Walk your fingertips back up as you breathe in, coming back upright. We'll do that a few more times. Walking the fingertips down. You can allow the head to relax down. And then as you breathe in, come back up. Couple more times like that. While you do that, I'm just going to peek over here at these comments. Thank you. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure everybody could hear me. A little nervous, first time here. So continuing with that fold, wherever you are in that fold, one more time there. And then next time you come back upright. Lengthen through the spine, and then we'll extend the arms out in front of us, palms facing down. So relax your shoulders here. Sometimes we have a tendency to tighten up through the shoulders, so we really want to have our shoulders nice and relaxed. And then we're just going to turn the palms to face the ceiling, turn to face the floor. We're going to alternate like that, turning the palms to face the ceiling, turning them back to face the floor. And then as you do this, notice what you're feeling in your shoulders, in your upper chest, even in your upper arms. Maybe you're feeling rotation, maybe you're feeling opening. We'll do two more. And then we'll pause with the palms facing up. And then we'll just turn our right palm to face the floor. And then we're going to alternate. So one palm facing up, one palm facing down. So we'll be doing these sort of cross body or movements where one side of the body is doing something different, a little bit different than the other. We'll be doing these a few times throughout the practice. And these types of movements, where one side of your body is doing something different or where you're moving across the body, are not just good for the body, but they're good for the brain as well. And then both palms face down, and then we relax the hands into the lap. So take a moment here. You might want to roll your shoulders. You might want to shake your arms or your hands. And at any time, if we're moving and you just get tired and need to take a break, please feel free to do that. So now we'll extend the arms out to the side. And again, think of keeping your shoulders down and relaxed. Palms are facing forward, thumbs are facing up. And then similar to what we did when our arms were in front, we're going to flip the palms to face the back and then the front. And we're going to continue that movement. And so noticing again here what's happening in your shoulders, what's happening in your upper arms, and how might it feel different than when we were doing a similar movement with our arms extended in front. And again, here if you get tired at any time, just rest your hands. Join in again when you're ready. And then we'll pause here with our palms facing front. Turn just the right hand so the palm faces the back, and then we'll alternate. If you want to bring a little bit of sway or shoulder movement into this, you can. We'll do 2 more on each side. Nice. Then both palms face forward, and then we'll rest the hands in the lap. Again, here you may want to roll the shoulders, wiggle it out, whatever would feel nice here to give you a little bit of relief after that movement. Then we'll bring our fingertips to our shoulders, and we're just going to begin making circles with our elbows. So you might think of your elbow drawing a circle on the wall or whatever's in front of you. One more time this way, and then we'll reverse the direction. And then we'll pause, and then think of really pushing your elbows towards the wall behind you. So we're opening up through the upper chest, pressing the elbows back, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as you can. And then, as you exhale, we'll bring the elbows together. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring them together. Continue like that, moving at the pace of your breath. And next time you bring the elbows together, we're going to add a little bit of a fold here. So bringing the elbows together and towards the legs. And then as you inhale, bringing the elbows apart, we're going to lift the heart, focus the gaze upwards. So this is similar to that cat and cow movement we did earlier. Inhaling, opening and lifting, exhaling, rounding. So we'll do 2 more like this. And then we'll open and we'll relax the hands down. Again, here it might feel nice to shake the hands, wiggle the arms, whatever would feel good for you in this moment. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms to the side, sweep them upwards, and as you exhale, lower the hands. Inhale, arms out and up, and exhale, lower. You can continue this movement at the pace of your breath. Think of keeping your shoulders relaxed and down as your arms come up. We'll do 2 more. Next time your arms are down, we'll pause, and this time we're going to take just the right arm. Extend it out as we inhale, and then exhaling, we're going to lean to the left. Inhale back up, exhale, arm down. Same thing other side. Inhale up, exhale, lean, inhale up, exhale, arm down. So we'll continue that a few more times. You might like to see if each time you lean, maybe you could go just a tiny bit further to the side. Hold on to the side of your chair or the leg of your chair for stability here if you need to as you lean. Don't want anyone falling off the side of the chair. Next time you have that right arm raised and you're lean to the left, we'll pause here. You can have your other hand in your lap, or you can maybe grab the chair leg or the side of the chair, and then really focus on opening here through the right side of the body. You might like to turn the gaze upwards. And then inhale up. Exhale, lower that arm. Same thing other side. Arm up, side bend, and then we'll pause here. Next inhale, back up, and lower that arm down. Nice. So now we'll do some twist movements with the breath. So to begin the twist, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, turn the torso to the right. Inhale back to center, lengthening. Exhale, twist left. So we'll continue that movement. You can move at the pace of your breath. And again here, if the way that I'm cueing the breathing isn't working for you, then just do whatever works for you. The main thing is, don't want you to hold your breath. Got to keep breathing. If you'd like to add in a little more movement here, as you inhale to center, you could raise the arms. And as you exhale to the side, you could bring the arms to the side. Up to you. Next time that you are inhaled to your right, we're going to hold, exhaled to your right. We're going to hold here. So twisting to the right, we're going to hold this twist. So you might like to have your left hand over the outside of your right knee, give you a little stability here. You might like to take your right hand and put it behind your back. We don't want to use our hands to twist us further or like torque us into this twist. It's just for stability here. And then you can turn your head to gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe see if each time you breathe in, you can lengthen the spine just a little more. And then as you breathe out, maybe go just a tiny fraction of a millimeter deeper into this twist. Next time you breathe out, we'll unfurl, come back to center. Take a full breath here. And then inhaling the spine nice and long. Exhale, other side. And we'll hold here on this side. Again, find where you'd like to place your hands, using them for support and stability, not to pull you deeper. Turning your head to gaze over your left shoulder. And then on your next exhale, we'll slowly come back to center. From here, we're going to extend our arms out in front of us and make really gentle fists here. And then beginning with your right hand, bend through the elbow, pulling that elbow back alongside the body. And then bring that arm back forward. So this is sort of a bow and arrow movement here. And as you do this, you might even want to envision that bow and arrow, and as you're pulling, really bring some energy into that pull, pressing this elbow back. You want to maybe feel some work here in the back of the arm as you do this. So lots of strength in this hand that's pulling back, keeping the elbow nice and close into the body, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as you can as you do this. We'll do 2 more. And then pause. If you need to take a break here and rest your hands, please do that. And then other side. Slowly and deliberately bring that arm back, keeping the elbow close to the body. Press that elbow back until you can feel something in the back of your arm, and then come back forward. So we're working our shoulder joint here. We're working the muscles through the back of the arm. We'll do 2 more. Nice. And then we'll rest the hands in the lap. Again, you might like to roll your shoulders here. We'll bring our hands forward and we'll clasp our fingers, interlacing our fingers together. And then we're just going to begin to circle, bringing the arms around, circling on the hips. And you might want to think here of stirring a big pot. So we're moving in this circular motion, stirring something here in this big, giant kettle that's in front of us. Really get the whole torso moving here, movement in the hip joint. And as you're coming around, if you just have a spot that feels really nice, feel free to slow it down there and then continue around. One more time around. And then we'll undo our fingers, and this time we're going to interlace them with the opposite finger on top. So this may be a way that you're not used to bringing your fingers together. And then we're going to reverse direction. So notice where you're feeling this. What's moving? What's working? What's your breath doing? And where are your thoughts? One more time around. And then we'll relax the hands, coming back into our seated mountain pose, checking in with our alignment. Now we'll begin some work for the lower part of the body. So to begin, we're just going to lift the toes. Not sure if you can see my feet, but heels are on the floor, toes are lifted. And then we lower the toes, and then we lift the heels. So toes, ball of the foot is on the floor, heels are lifted. And then we'll just continue that. Lift the toes, lift the heels. Toes, heels. We'll do that a few more times. You might have a little bit of popping and crackling here in your joints as you do this. So as long as there's no pain, that's all right. And then one last time, and lower. So this time, we're going to lift the toes of the right leg, right foot, heel of the left foot. And then we're going to alternate. Heel right foot, toes left foot. And then we're going to continue with this alternating movement. So it's sort of a pedaling motion here. Toes on one foot, heel on the other lifted, and then opposite. Take your time with this. You might be feeling some work in your ankle, in your calf muscle. One more time each way. And then we'll rest the feet both down, flat on the floor. From here, we'll extend our right leg out in front of us. You can have it lifted off the floor any amount. It doesn't need to be high. It can just barely be lifted off the floor. That's fine. And then we're going to begin. Point the toes, and then flex the foot. And then point the toes, flex the foot. So nice gentle movement here. But as you point, you may want to curl the toes. And as you flex, you may want to sort of widen the toes as those toes come back towards your leg. So find what would feel best for you here. We don't want to do this in such an extreme way that it causes the top of the foot to cramp. So nice and gentle here. And then we're going to circle the foot. So circling from the ankle. And then circle other direction. And then we'll bring that leg back in. You might take a moment here to notice how that felt. Do you feel a difference from one leg to the other, one side of your body to the other? And then when you're ready, we'll extend the other leg. And same thing, point and flex, point, flex. Gently curling the toes as you point, gently spreading the toes as you flex the foot back. One more time each way. And then we'll circle, circling from the ankle. This is where often we get the pops and crackles. And then other direction. And then we'll relax that foot back down. And again, we'll just take a moment to notice. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? So from here, if you have a strap or something that you can use as a strap, we'll be using it now. And we'll place it under the ball of the right foot. So a couple things here. If you don't have a strap, if you don't have a jump rope, a necktie, a long belt, anything that you could use in place of a strap, you could just reach your hands down behind your leg and work that way. Things we want to focus on as we do this movement is we want to be sitting on our sit bones, so not hunching back onto our tailbone, sitting up nice and tall. You want to think of sort of zipping up your core. So think of all of these muscles in your stomach sort of moving towards the center and then zipping up. So when you move them in, zip them up, nice and tight through here, that helps to protect the lower back. So we want this movement that we're getting ready to do, all of this leg movement, we want it to be happening from the strength of our leg. We want it to be happening from the strength of our core. We don't want to be leaning back, putting strain on our back, and we also don't want to be sort of putting the back into it as we lift. So nice, strong, zipped up core. And then we'll begin. Lift the leg and lower. Continue lifting and lowering. So again here, if you don't have a strap, maybe you just want to do this without a strap, without your hand behind your leg. The amount of work that you put into this will depend on how tightly you hold this strap. So maybe you want that strap for assistance, really helping you lift that leg. Maybe you just want to very gently hold the strap and let your leg and your core do most of the work. So you can decide here the level of work that you're looking for. So we'll do one more here. Next time we lift this leg, we're going to extend it out in front and then bend and extend. Check in with how you're sitting. Check in, make sure you still have that zipped up action through your core, that you're not putting any strain on your back. Two more times. And then next time we have this leg straight, we're going to extend it out to the side. So if you have this around your right leg, you may want strap in your right hand, and then we're just going to sort of open and bring the leg back. Now pay attention here to what you're feeling in your hip, and if you feel any sharpness or pinching or pain, then either don't bring your leg out as wide, maybe lower it a little bit. We want to be really mindful of our hip joint. One more time. And then bend through the knee, lower the foot. Again, we'll take a moment here. Notice difference you might feel from one side to the other, from one leg to the other. Does one feel heavier, more tired maybe? So just notice whatever you notice. And then we'll bring our strap or whatever we're using for a strap over to the left foot. And then when you're ready, zipped up through that core, sitting on our sit bones, lift and lower. Using the strap for support, adjusting the tension on the strap depending on how much work you're looking for here. One more. then next time we lift the knee, then we'll straighten the leg. And then we'll bend, and then we'll extend. Two more. And sometimes you're in a class and they say, oh, just 3 more, and you just thought you were about to give up, but you think, oh, I can do 3 more. So I like to give you a little clue as to what's coming, how many are left. So again, taking that strap into your left hand and then bring that leg out to the side and back in. Paying attention to your hip. No pinching, no sharpness. Being nice and gentle with ourselves. We can move and we can work. Sometimes after these chair classes, students say, wow, I really felt that the next day. So we can do a lot of work and a lot of movement without hurting ourselves, without bringing any pain or overuse into our bodies. So one more here. Nice. And then bend and lower. So you can lay your strap aside here. That is all we'll be doing with that. So this next movement is one that is good for the brain as well as the body. So we'll begin by taking our right hand, bent at the elbow, extending this right hand out with the palm up. So you want to imagine here that there's a string from the back of your right hand that comes all the way down to the top of your left foot. So as you bring more bend into this elbow and bring that hand back towards your face, that leg lifts. And then as that leg lowers, that hand comes down. So I call this the puppet, but this is what we're doing here, this sort of action. As the hand lifts, the foot lifts. So the foot bends, lowers. So it's really like as the elbow bends, the leg straightens. As the leg bends, the arm straightens. So we'll do 2 more like this. Nice. Then we'll rest that hand in our lap. And then same thing other side. So this time left hand out, palm facing up, string from the back of your left hand down to the top of your right foot. And as you bend that elbow, bring that hand towards you, that left foot comes out to straight. And as that left leg bends, that right hand comes back down. So again, this cross body, alternate side of the body movement helps to work our brain, helps to fire up new connections in the brain. And another secret is that when you really have to concentrate on your movement, it helps to distract you from how hard you're working. So often in chair classes, we do movements that we have to really focus on, really intently, and then we don't realize how hard we've worked until we're done. So one more here. And now we're going to extend both hands with the palms up. And then we're going to alternate. So as that right hand bends, left hand extends, lower, then the other side. Lots of brain power here. We'll do one more time each side. Nice. And then we'll rest the hands in the lap. So from here we're going to come into a wide leg bend. So we'll bring the feet wide, bring the knees wide. You'll want to have your toes sort of pointing out at an angle here. So this is another place where if it's not good for you to have your head below your heart, you won't want to come down as far. We start with our hands on our knees. We inhale our spine nice and long, and then as we exhale, we begin to hinge from the hips, bring ourselves forward. So we come down with our back fairly straight, and then once we've reached our maximum range of motion with our back straight, then you can allow your head to lower, your shoulders to relax. You may want to keep your hands on your thighs here. You may want to slide them down to your ankles, maybe bring your elbows to your thighs, maybe bring your hands down to the floor. So just find what works best for you here. So we're giving an opening to our hips, relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders, lowering the head. One more breath here. And then on an inhale, we slowly come back up. Nice and slow. Good. And then we return to our seated mountain pose. So we'll extend our right leg here, and we're going to have our heel on the floor. You may want to sit a little bit more forward in your seat for this. So we want the leg fairly straight here, heel on the floor, and then begin to bring the toes back towards your body. So you're flexing the foot, really pushing through the heel. You may want to imagine that your heel is trying to press all the way over and reach the wall or whatever is on the other side of you. And the toes are coming back towards the leg. So right here already you might be feeling a stretching sensation in the back of your leg. Maybe you're feeling it in your calf, maybe somewhere else in the back of the leg. So if you're feeling that, this is where you want to hold on to this pose. We don't want stretching sensation behind the knee. So if it's behind the knee joint, maybe bring a little bit of bend into your knee to move that sensation. If you're not really feeling anything, you can come forward just a little bit in your seat until you do feel some stretching either in the calf or in the hamstring. So we're going to hold here for a few breaths, and then we're going to come a little bit deeper and move that stretching sensation. So now we're just going to slowly, gently, keeping that foot flexed, come a little bit further forward. And as you do that, you may feel that stretch moving. Maybe before it was in the calf and now it's moving up to the hamstring. Again, you don't want it behind the knee joint. So if you feel it right behind your knee, bring some bend into your knee. Move that into the belly of the muscle. One more breath here. And then slowly inhale, back upright, and bring that foot back in. And then we'll do that same stretch for the other leg. So bringing that leg out, heel resting on the floor, really push through that heel, flexing the foot, bringing the toes back towards the leg, pushing through the heel, toes moving back. Notice what you're feeling. If this is enough for you, you can pause right here for a few breaths. You may want to move just a little bit forward until you feel a nice stretch or a nice sensation. You don't want to feel anything pulling, no sharpness, no tingling. We're looking for good feeling here. And then we'll slowly begin to lean forward, maybe moving that sensation further up the leg. Again, we don't want it behind the knee joint. One more full breath here. And then next inhale, back up, bring that leg back in. So one final movement here before we come into our final relaxation. As we breathe in, we're going to bring our arms out really wide. And as we exhale, we're going to hug ourselves. And then inhale, the arms open. Exhale, other arm on top. Hug yourself. So we'll continue that a few more times. Keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed as the arms come wide. Alternating which arm is on top each time you come in. Give yourself a big hug. Next time, we're going to hold this hug. As we inhale, we're going to lift the arms, lift the gaze, a little bit of arch in the upper back. And as we breathe out, we're going to bring the arms down towards the legs, tuck the chin, lower the head. We're just going to take a couple breaths here. Next inhale, back up, arms open, and other arm on top. Nice. Breathing in, we'll lift the arms, lift the gaze. Breathing out, arms come towards the legs, chin tucks, head lowers. Few breaths here. Inhale, arms out wide, and then you can lower the arms. So from here we'll come into our final relaxation pose. So you may want to sit back a little bit in your seat. Maybe slide your arms back so your elbows are under your shoulders. Again, if you're in a place where you feel comfortable closing your eyes, you might like to close your eyes here, or just lower your gaze and let your gaze soften. So this is our seated Shavasana, our seated final relaxation pose. This is the time where our body and our brain sort of integrates everything that we've done through the practice. A time where we rest. A time where we just be. So take a moment to scan through your body and notice if there's anywhere that you're gripping or tightening or holding on to any tension where you could let go. Check in with your jaw, your shoulders. See if you can give any release there. Relax the muscles around your stomach. Just allow your breath to enter your body, filling your lungs, and allow the breath to leave. No forcing, just allowing the breath in and out. If you notice your thoughts wandering, just acknowledge that and then bring your attention back to your breath. And just be as relaxed as you can be where you are for a few moments here of quiet stillness. So return your attention to your body and your breath. Take a few deep breaths. Invite some movement into your hands and your feet. Take a moment to stretch or move in any way that would feel good for you here. And then on your next inhale, bring your arms out to the side, up overhead, palms together. Exhale the hands down to the heart. We'll take one deep breath together here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you. So if you are in the Charlottesville area, I teach a weekly chair yoga class at Common Ground in Charlottesville, Thursday mornings at 10:30, and I would love to have you join me. It's a pay what you can class. Additionally, I am soon going to be offering some classes in Ruckersville, chair yoga as well as hatha, probably some curvy yoga, maybe a few other options. So you can keep an eye out on my Facebook for that, or maybe go to my website and sign up for my email list, and I will give you more news on that when I have more news to give. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. I believe that once I'm finished, then this will live on my Facebook page, and I can go back through and look at any comments or anything that came through during the practice. So again, thank you so much. Well, it won't let me quit.